What's up, people of YouTube? F-Man here, and welcome to the commentary of the Ninjago pilot. I can't believe it's been a full year since the pilot was released. Tell you the truth, I've been wanting to do a Ninjago pilot commentary video since the pilot came out, but I just was so busy I never got around to doing it until now. First thing I always got praised for was how I always managed to make the ticking sound match when Kai was slamming the hammer. One thing I never really got praised for was how I always made the dialogue was pretty much the same word for word from the original pilot. I mean, I just wanted to make my Ninjago pilot as faithful to the original as possible, with using the movie designs but at the same time having my own flair to it, you know? And I always got a little criticism for how the camera was always jerky. Yeah, the tripod I was using. I went through a bunch of them, but I never really got to working it out. There's me. There's my voice. I'm the one who's voicing Master Wu. People always wondered why I used that voice particularly. You'll find out later, okay? And a lot of people always asked me, hey, where did I get the suits for the characters? Tell you the truth, the blacksmith outfit that Kai's wearing, that was custom made by me. I couldn't find a blacksmith outfit, so I made one. I made all the custom suits that you'll later see in the video.
He was just... forget it.
Here they are, the skeletons. People always wondered why I didn't just use the bikes. Instead I used them go through a magic portal. Well, there's a reason for that. One is, the bikes were expensive and possibly been discontinued. And two, I figured it made more sense for them to use Traveler's Tea, which is a current thing that constantly gets used in Ninjago, rather than magical motorcycles that can travel through realms.
Kai?
Oh yeah? Oh no.
And the reason I voiced both of those characters is because I can rarely get any more actors to voice other characters, especially side characters, so I took it upon myself to voice them.
Thanks for saving her.
Get ready to fight. Master! Master!
Oh god, I can't believe I made Samukai move like a sock puppet.
Stay here, Nia.
Just remember what we're after.
Stay here, Nia.
Ninjago!
Master Wu, your Spinjitzu looks rusty.
Nothing like bone to sharpen its edge, Samukai. Ninjago!
Nia, I thought I told you to stay back.
And what? Let you have all the fun? Kai!
Ouch.
The more. Now retreat.
Are you okay?
Thanks again for saving us again with your twisted zoo or your...
Spinjitzu.
Who are you anyway?
Someone who was trying to find something special. That was Samukai, king of the underworld. And if it's true that he's carrying out orders for Lord Garmadon, then I fear things are worse than I have ever thought.
Lord Garmadon? Underworld? What's going on? What do we have that's so important to them?
What's so important? How about everything in Ninjago itself? Long before time,
And people have always asked, why did I change the lore? Why aren't the weapons golden? Why do they look nothing like the golden weapons of Spinjitzu? Why is there a fifth one, which is the Spear of Water? Well, I got those weapons from the Lego Ninjago movie Spinjitzu Master sets, which you can find in each one. And I figured, why were they in the sets? What purpose do they serve? And I figured, well, you see a need, you fill that need, and therefore they became the weapons of Spinjitzu. In my Ninjago show, they're not the golden weapons of Spinjitzu, they're the weapons of Spinjitzu.
Struck out and banished to the underworld. Peace returned, and the younger brother hid the weapons, but knowing his older brother's relentless ambition for power and fear for his own demise.
And a lot of people have given me backlash because that minifigure that's supposed to be Kai and Nia's dad, that looks nothing like Rey. Well, there's a reason for that. I couldn't afford to get a Rey minifigure, so I had to custom him, and that's not going to be the canon look for the rest of the show, if I can continue it.
Special, you two. Since my brother cannot enter this realm, it is clear he struck a deal with Samukai. If he were to collect all the weapons, even I would not be able to stop him again. But you two have the power. I will train you to harness it, use it, become a Spinjitzu master.
Look, I'm flattered you think we're all that, but we got a shop to rebuild and not get involved in your sibling
Kai!
rivalry.
Oh yeah!
Hey!
Plenty of you. You're not even ready to face my pinky toe. You must control the fire that burns inside. Only when you become a Spinjitzu master will you be ready to face Lord Garmadon.
Okay, then when do we start?
Still kind of proud of this effect.
How
In
long
the
is this
beginning, nothing
training
was
gonna
in the
be?
temple
Are we
before
in a
Sensei opened the
little bit of
doors,
a
but when
rush
the
since they
camera
have the map?
zoomed in,
Hey,
that's when I
Shinsuke
cut
will
it
be
to,
ready when you're
well,
ready.
Jay, colon, Zane. I even love that since Jay's supposed to be the nerdy
Hey, are
one
you
of the
okay?
team in this version of Ninjago, the first thing when he sees Nia, he goes all head over heels for her, or going all fantasizing. And like that scene where she's flicking her hair, that's just in his
Are
head,
you
really.
okay?
And a lot of people who haven't been on my
Everyone,
Patreon
pay
wonder
attention.
why did the
Yes,
why was there no
Sensei.
music, or why
So
was it just
Sensei,
silence? Yeah,
teach me
well,
how
there's
to
two
do that
versions of
cool
this
move?
pilot. One with soundtrack that I can't
First,
play because of copyright
Ninjago!
reasons, so it's on my Patreon. So yeah, if you want to hear
How did
with
he
its
do that?
actual
What do you
music that
just
was
do to
from
my
other
heel?
stuff, go check
I
out
love it.
my Patreon. Links in the description. That scene. I wanted to keep it from the original pilot, like when
Oh,
Master
hold
Wu
on a minute.
activates
You said
Spinjitzu
you
and
were
gives
gonna
them their
teach us
robes. A lot of people
Spinjitzu.
wonder why did I not just give them their robes automatically? Why are they in the Ninjago trainer outfits? Well, they have to earn their robes. They have to earn their ninja robes. That's why they're in those outfits. And again, since Master Wu managed to change their clothing, he also managed to give them hair
More like Papa
accessories like Nia and Cole.
Master of
I
fire.
can't believe I made Jay go step it back a bit. Even I didn't notice that until, well, watching the pilot. That's on me, guys.
Nice to meet you,
Looking
kid.
back on this scene, I wish I
I
put
got your
Kai's
back.
sword down. It makes it look like he's stabbing Cole in the face when Cole's being all like, I got your back, kid.
Five chosen ones destined to protect the weapons of Spinjitzu from Lord Garmadon. To learn Spinjitzu, you must do one thing.
Okay.
Finish the training course before I finish my tea, then we'll see if you're ready.
What the hey?
Today you failed. Tomorrow you'll try again.
Failed? But I didn't even start to.
Patience.
Training montage. We got a training montage here. This is the part where they all earn their black ninja robes. A lot of people wonder why I made them all black ninja robes instead of just, well, their colorful full outfits. Well, they're ninjas. It makes sense for them to have black robes, and not to mention they get their colorful robes when they get their elemental powers. And looking back, I wish I made the montage a little longer, but hey, I was still new to stop motion and new to being a producer and director. Not to mention, before the show, my earlier days of YouTube, I did do stop motion, and they only lasted for like a couple of seconds, and maybe 20,
What a
you
day.
know?
Oh, yeah? So, did you guys meet Wu?
So, let's just say, if it wasn't for Sensei Wu, I don't think we would have ever been seen together. I was
Even though
testing
you
my
don't see
limit.
Cole's body, his chest area, I actually had to paint that because I couldn't find a buff minifigure torso, so I had to paint it. You can almost hear Jay say a cuss word. Now that was pretty funny. I told David, who voices Jay, to do that as a joke, because when he slams in the building, it's just part of the joke. And people have asked me, why did I make Zane meditate in
Me and
snow?
Kai
Why
were
not in the
attacked by
ocean
skeletons.
and like in the
glad
pilot?
you are
Well, don't
mentally
forget,
wrong.
Zane's the master of
Come now,
ice.
we must lead our
Nia's the
rest.
master of
Tomorrow
water.
we'll
And
search
again,
the
changes
first
were
bucket.
made for this pilot. I thought it would make
Caves of
sense at the
despair.
time.
Samurai
I can
must
clearly
be
hear
close
that
to
the voice I
earth
used for
and
Wu
the
kind of
healer.
got better, as in the
Remember,
earlier
do not
moments,
use the
and he
weapon.
sounded a
Use
little
power
too
always.
high-pitched and too squeaky. Well, don't forget, I was still going through puberty at the time. Yeah, you can clearly see I used a background from the original
First,
show.
we
I was
lowered
originally going to paint and
ourselves
draw
down the
all my own
ledge.
backgrounds that
And
were
then
similar, but I
waist
never
high.
could really figure out how to make it look great. So I ended up printing them out. You can even see the characters on green pieces of paper for grass. I mean, I'm not rich here. Come on. So I had to work with what I had on a small budget, you know? You can clearly hear that the characters are speaking louder when they're supposed to be
There's no time
quiet.
to waste.
Yeah, I should have stuff like whisper or excitement when I was giving them their scripts. So that's on me, really. But hey, skeletons don't have
before you
ears, so
race
maybe
off
they don't
again,
have very good hearing,
you need to
probably.
remember we're
Then
a
again, in
team.
the actual show, they could hear a giant echo, so... But
Whoa, that's
still,
so
you
cool.
know...
That's so loud.
Alright, come on, don't be so paranoid.
So yeah, people wondered why the whole suit changed when he got the
You
weapon.
okay?
Yeah, well, Ninjago
What
lore,
happened?
original Ninjago lore, is so
Wait,
advanced
why
and
did my
so
suit change?
big that even the creators of the show pretty much have a Ninjago Bible. So when I was
Let's just
making my
sneak
own
out while
Ninjago
those
show,
boneheads are
I
still
was going to
busy.
use elements
All right,
from
team.
that
Everybody
Bible,
stick
but at the same
together.
time came up with something original. Like, for example, in the show, they get their powers from the weapons, but then they get it from Lloyd. But then we find out later that they should get it from their parents. So, yeah, even though the rest of the ninja are descendants from original elemental masters, they don't really have their powers just yet, because I guess you could say their weapons are like the key to cracking their elemental abilities, I suppose. Well, that's where I'm going with in the show. Look at that, you can see Mora right there. But anyway, looking back on that fight scene, I originally wanted the fight to be a little longer and just as epic as the original, but I didn't really know how to animate the fight scene that well, so I ended up getting a massive mess out of it. Yeah, and throughout the pilot, sometimes you can hear their audios getting louder or smaller. I don't know how my cast managed to record their lines, but I think they did a great job. It's my fault for not editing it right. I mean, you can still hear them clicking, kind of like the buttons that they're pressing, or, you know, I really blame myself, really, so don't go after my friends, and they did a great job playing the characters. And another thing, he said that they will all have their own elemental dragons, which is true, because in the original show, they get their dragons from their weapons, but then they become Ultra Dragon, and then Ultra Dragon doesn't exist anymore, and then, like, later in Season 4, they learn to get their own elemental dragon, so I might as well just cut out the middleman and make them all have their own elemental dragons the second they get the weapons, therefore killing two birds with one stone. You know, fun fact, actually, that's actually my cousin who's playing Lord Garmadon, actually. He was originally going to be Kai, but there was some problems here and there, but eventually we got the voice for Kai, and then the role of Kai became the role of Garmadon. See that? Destiny's Bounty. Now, in the original show, Destiny's Bounty was a pirate ship, but then founded by Zane and became the Ninja's HQ. Here in my show, the Destiny's Bounty, it was a ship that Sensei and Garmadon went fishing on with their father.
A little too seriously.
You too have the gift?
He's just making a joke, Zane. Remember what we talked about? Your sense of humor?
Yes, it was a joke. Hee hee.
Ninja, we made it to the weapon.
Thank God for Season 12 of Ninjago when they made that Prime Empire set, and with those avatar suits the ninja were wearing. We got a Nia outfit where she was wearing a scuba diver outfit. Even though we never saw it in the show, I'm glad it exists because I used it for this. Making Jay the clumsy mechanic with a heart of gold. That's going to be Jay's character in the show.
Oops. Sorry. Huh, alright. I'm okay.
Now, the background for that forest, I'm the one who made it, and I'm still proud that I made it, because I do think out of all the backgrounds I used, which weren't, you know, printed out from the actual show, this one actually is nice. You can actually hear the audio of the drums from the original pilot. Yeah, now that part, And I do love it how I managed to make Wu say the same stuff from Wu from the pilot with the shake what your mama gave you bit. What? It made the ninja laugh, so it's in the pilot.
Huh? Sensei?
I have to go.
Sensei, wait up. Why is he running so...
In case you didn't know, that's actually the same gate from the Temple of Spinjitzu. I couldn't find any other gate, so I used that. Well, since the camera is close to Kai, it makes it look like it's not the entire gate, you know? You know, I kind of find it funny and ironic that since my cousin's the one who's voicing Garmadon, he's right now talking to Kai, and, like, he was right now talking to a character he could have played, you know? Now, in the original pilot, Nia is the one who's basically the reason why Kai becomes a ninja, and is the one who gets chained over lava. So again, changed it to Master Wu because Nia is already a part of the team. But still, can you imagine getting chained up by your own brother could possibly get burned alive by a boy in a lake of lava? Like I said, I wanted this pilot to be just as faithful to the original pilot, not being a complete shot-for-shot deal. Although the audio is the same from the original, I did want it to make it just as faithful. Let's be honest here. This remake pilot's a lot better than any live-action remake Disney's ever given us, huh?
It's mine.
You know, here's something that I'm really glad that I did for this pilot that I still don't like what they did in the original. In the original Ninjago pilot, it was split into two different episodes. That was The Way of the Ninja and King of Shadows, and I never understood why they made the pilot two separate episodes. Why not just make it one episode? So, that's what I did. That's the one thing I'm super proud that I did in this.
Change your plans to the underworld.
I can't find my sword.
Where'd you last see it?
I don't know.
Idiot.
Great. Now what?
Now we gotta get out of here.
Kai, what happened? Where's Sensei?
He took the swords. He's gone to the underworld. I don't know how we're gonna get there.
I sense the end is drawing near.
Originally, they were going to go to Mistake or go back to the Temple of Spinjitzu to get more Traveler's Teeth from Sensei. But, hey, Jay stealing it from the skeletons, that works just as much. And cheaper and budget reasons, really. And the thing about the Swords of Fire, it can technically be the Sword of Fire because it does have the ability to become one sword. I got the inspiration from Ryoichi Cooper from Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, where his cane can become two canes. That's where I got the inspiration from. If you noticed, Jay actually lets Nia go before him. As the saying goes, ladies first. Honestly, this fight scene was a lot better than the Cave of Despair's fight scene. I'm still pretty proud that I did this. Like, this pilot was in production hell for 3 years, you know? I mean, stop motion ain't easy, Lego is expensive, and all in all, I have a life outside of YouTube, you know? So, it was really hard to do all this, but really worth it in the end. Now, another thing that people point out, why did the ninja learn Spinjitzu now? Why not in Cave of Despairs like in the original? Well, the show is called Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu, and since there's just the pilot, it would have made sense for them to learn Spinjitzu nearly at the end, so that way in the show they learn more and more about it. That and because I couldn't do Tornado of Creation, because we know what the ninja makes with Tornado of Creation. So, in the show, if we ever get to it, you'll get to them to see do Tornado of Creation. I honestly assumed it would be cheaper, and it made sense at the time. I'm honestly glad I managed to make the fight scenes a lot better. And I hope to God I can continue to not only make the fights better, but continue the show. But as Charlie and Blitz said, animation takes a lot of time. So, you know. And another thing, I'm glad the role of Garmadon went to my cousin. Even though he was originally supposed to be Kai, me and my aunt honestly thought the role of Garmadon was best suited for him because of the voice he's using. And I have to agree myself. I just hope he doesn't get a big head about it and think he's a movie star, you know? Remember, in the original pilot, Sensei Wu goes with this weird voice, and he never uses it again, and that was the inspiration I used for that voice. Don't know why he does it, but that's the voice I'm going to be using for Sensei Wu. So in a way, I kind of thank the voice of Wu for giving us that voice back in the pilot 15 years ago.
Ghastly place. Oh no.
Father would not want you to do this, brother.
Father is no longer here. Good and evil, there has always been a balance. Where I go, the balance can be destroyed. Soon, I will be strong enough to wrest the weapons, so I may create the world in my image. You were always his favorite.
Now I need to point this out. In the original pilot, it was Kai who said, we'll be ready for him, and Cole who said, and keep an eye out. But for some reason, and this is on me, I accidentally got the lines switched with both actors, but count it as a mistake if you want, but I'm glad it's in the pilot. I mean, lines got said, and it really didn't matter who said what on that part, you know? Don't combine the weapons, you know what happened to Samokai.
Forget the training.
And that
You
scene
all
where
deserve a
Sensei's all
break.
like, I made a funny.
Thank you,
That was
Sensei.
taken from the original
together,
TMNT
team.
movie with Master Splinter. And when you think about it,
Perhaps you
Splinter
should
and Wu have a
stick to
few in
hand
common. I mean, at one point they were both voiced by Jackie Chan. Oh, the prophecy about the Green Ninja. When it comes to me, I love a good foreshadowing, you know? But let's just see if this show continues, you know? Because again, animation takes a lot of time and work. And even though I haven't worked on this show in a while now, I still want to continue this show. Oh, because I love Ninjago. And for the love and memory of Kirby Morrow, I am honestly still proud that I did this in the credits, that I put the picture of Kirby Morrow, the original voice for Cole, for his memory. And if there's anything I like, it's a good tribute.